If you were an automotive engineer trying to solve a chronic problem in your cars, you'd analyze what's happening under the hood. Think tanks are like that. They are idea factories, where research is underway to identify a core problem in the hopes that a solution can be found. This matters because ideas, bad or good, harmful or helpful, are what impact the world around us. Ideas impact culture, which impacts education and politics. Some history. Do you know that the first think tanks were set up in the 19th century to think about practical ways to combat slavery? And in the 20th century, new think tanks were created to combat extreme government intervention that was anti-freedom and anti-free enterprise. It's why think tanks devoted to free economies and free peoples popped up in the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, and other countries. What do useful think tanks work on? Ideas out there, which may be anti-reality and thus harmful, which is where the analysis and debates start, as they should. Here's an example. You've heard the claim that historic or present racism explains much or all of the differences in outcomes between various groups. Not always and not often, especially in modern open economies. There are other reasons why average incomes might differ. Education, geography, average age of a cohort, family dynamics, and even cultural assumptions. Apple-to-apple comparisons help make this clear. For example, on average, Indigenous Canadians earn less than others, such as those of Korean descent. But that's because Canadians of Korean ancestry possess some of the highest education levels, and higher education or a trade equals higher incomes. And a greater proportion of Indigenous Canadians live in more rural areas compared with other Canadians, often on reserves, far from higher educational or career opportunities. The good news is that apple-to-apple comparisons point the way to what positively impacts incomes and potential success. Some facts. The median income of Indigenous Canadians with a bachelor's degree is slightly less than Canadians as a whole. But Indigenous Canadians with an education level higher than just a bachelor's degree earn slightly more than other Canadians with the same education. Why does this matter? Because it shows that education and geography and these other factors, much else, matter to outcomes. It shows that education and an urban location, people live in a city, boost Indigenous incomes, just as they do for other Canadians. This is what think tanks in touch with reality do. We look at a claim, we analyze it, we give you some data, facts, and history to help you decide if what you're hearing is true. For more, check out the Aristotle Foundation and sign up for our emails at aristotlefoundation.org.